I'm Nisha Ramakrishnan, very new to storytelling, just a couple of months old. So I'm just feeling very privileged to be speaking in this gathering with so many wonderful tellers. My story is also a conversation from the Mahabharata. I have taken references from the Maharshi Ved Vyas's Mahabharata, and there is a poem by Sir Rabindranath Tagore called Paravas. It's a Bengali poem. It's a conversation between Karna and Kunti just before the Mahabharata war began. So it's called The Unfortunate Son. Born by way of a boon to the princess and the sun god, but abandoned that day. He was loved and raised by Radha, a charioteer's wife. This is the story of Karna's life. He was born with a divine armor and earrings. Lord Parshuram himself imparted him training. He was truly one of the best in archery, but due to his background, he was never acknowledged by society. Made a king of a small kingdom by the shrewd Kaurava prince Duryodhana, Karna was indebted always. Duryodhana had now earned a strong friend in Karna to support him in his treacherous ways. Known for his golden heart, Karna never turned anyone empty-handed. He even gave away his divine armor at Indradev's request. His generosity had landed him 2 of 3 curses which would prove to be his Achilles heel, but nothing could perturb this brave warrior's generous zeal. The greedy Kauravas were determined for a war with the Pandavas, stubbornly refusing to part with their rightful share in the kingdom, inherited from their fathers. Karna, of course, would fight for the Kauravas, considering it his duty to repay his benefactors. All efforts for peace, even by Lord Krishna, had turned futile. And that is when Karna's birth mother, Queen Kunti, decides to visit her abandoned child. Now, Queen Kunti is also the mother of Pandavas, whom Karna is going to fight in this war. And the conversation which they had goes as follows. Karna says, on the sacred banks of the river Ganges, I say my prayers to the sun god. I am the son of Adirath, the charioteer. Lady, who are you? Kunti says, in the first dawn of your life, I am the one who introduced you to this world. Today, I have cast aside all embarrassment to come and see you. I am Kunti, she says, as her head is covered by her sari to shield herself from the sun. You are Kunti, the mother of Arjuna, the mother of the Pandavas. Yes, my son, but please don't hate me for that. I still remember the day when you had entered Hastinapur as a bachelor. You seemed like a rising sun in the eastern sky. My eyes recognized my eldest son that very moment. My eyes covered your limbs with blessings, and when you were publicly shamed for not being a Kshatriya, my mother's heart burnt like fire. Bless this that Duryodhan. Yes, I bless him, for it is he who made you the king of Anga. I still remember the day when you were crowned, and how Adirath the charioteer was so happy, he was beyond himself with joy seeing his son in royal gear. O noble lady, said Karna, I salute you. But tell me, what brings you here today? Don't you realize this is the battlefield, and I am the commander of the Kaurava army? My son, I have come to beg a favor of you. Please don't send me empty-handed, said Kunti. Why does the queen herself have to beg from an ordinary charioteer's son? Please command. If it is in my hands, I shall offer at your feet whatever you desire. You are my child. I have come to take you, my son, said Kunti. Where will you take me? Asked Karna. Kunti said, to the place where you belong, to my maternal lap. You are the eldest of my sons. I shall place you above all of my sons. And you have to claim the throne that is rightfully yours. My sons will, all of them will serve you with love when they know the truth about you. To which Karna replies, how can I partake of their son's love, of their mother's love from those who have been cheated of their empire itself? Your words have sent me into an enchanted world, to the very awareness of my existence. How often I have dreamt of this day when my mother would come and reveal herself to me. I felt weak and besieged in tears every time. And today that moment has come in the guise of the Pandavas' mother, on the day when the Pandavas and Kauravas are preparing for the battlefield. Why did I have to hear this from you today? So much so that my heart goes out to the Pandavas, calling them as brothers. But you are my mother, and your call has awakened my soul. Tell me, where should we go? Which Kunti says, to the other side, where your brothers are preparing for this war, on the still tents on the pale sands. And Karna said, yes, and there a motherless son shall find his mother forever. Lady, one more time, call me your son. Kunti says, my son. To which Karna replies, then why did you discard me so ingloriously? No family honor, no mother's eyes to watch me. Left to the mercy of this blind, unknown world. You let me float in this current of contempt, banishing me from my brothers forever. Why did you do this to me? You seem to have no answer. Let it be then. A mother's love is God's first gift on this earth. Why you snatched it away from me is a question you may choose not to answer. But tell me, why have you come today to take me? And Kunti says, son, let your reprimands burst my heart into 100 pieces. That I have set you aside is a curse that haunts me even today. I consider myself blessed to have seen you today. With when your mouth hadn't uttered a word, I committed a horrendous crime. With that mouth today, please forgive me, son. Please forgive me. Let that forgiveness burn fiercer than any rebukes within my heart. I have come today as I cannot bear to see my own sons standing against each other in this war. And Karna replies, oh mother, give me the dust of your feet and take away my tears. And Kunti says, come with me, my child, claim the position, the throne that is rightfully yours. You are the eldest of the Pandavas, a Kshatriya. You are my son. And as you rule the kingdom as a sole ruler, Yudhishthira will cool you with a fan. Bhim will hold up your umbrella. Arjuna will drive your chariot. But mother, I am a charioteer's son, and Radha is my mother. Glory greater than that, I have none. Let the Pandavas be Pandavas and the Kauravas be Kauravas. I envy nobody. And today I would be cheating my foster mother of charioteer caste. If I claim myself to be of royal lineage, lusting after a royal throne, how can I snap ties with the Kuru clan? My friend Prince Duryodhan, who honored me as a king when my mother and my brothers were not my own. Today, he has stepped into this war with the belief that my might will help him win this war. Consider me as helpless as you were on the day you deserted me in this war, while I extend my wholehearted support to the Kauravas against the Pandavas, my brothers. Kunti says, blessed you are, my son, for you're truly heroic. Who knew that one day when I forsook a tiny, helpless child, he would come back someday with heroic powers and stand against those who are his very brothers, born from the same mother. What a curse this is, said Kunti. To which Karna replies, mother, I cannot let you go empty-handed. I assure you, my arrows will spare all my brothers except Arjuna. The world knows you as the mother of 5 sons. When the war ends, you will still have 5 sons with you. It will be only me or Arjuna who will die a death that Kshatriya is born to have. Promise me that you would not disclose my identity to my brothers until after the war, as their arrows may waver if they are aimed knowing me as their brother. As for the war, let me predict, it's the Pandavas who will win. I can see the signs clearly on the panel of this day's gloom. I can see the end full of peace and emptiness. Let the Pandavas, let Pandu's sons win and become the kings. Let me stay with the losers, the ones whose hopes will be vanished, will be dashed. When I was born, you left me on this earth, nameless, homeless. Just like that today, be ruthless and abandon me. Abandon me to my defeat, infamous, lustreless. Please grant me just one blessing. May greed for victory, for fame, or for kingdom never deflect me from a hero's path or salvation. Hearing this, Kunti blessed her blessed but unfortunate son, Karna. Karna, who chose to ignore all right and wrong in his pursuit of dharma as he knew. And then he stayed true to his word. In the war of Mahabharata, he was presented with a chance to slay Bhima, but he chose to spare him because he had committed to his mother. On the 17th day of the war, which lasted for 18 days, the three curses which he had got, they worked simultaneously on him. And that's when Arjuna ended Karna's life. And after his death, of course, Queen Kunti acknowledged him as his son, as her son, in front of all her other sons. And that's how his life went. Thank you. That's the end of my story.
How powerful this story, Nisha.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you so much for this story. So and you told it so beautifully.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Means a lot, because I was quite intimidated looking at the screen and the people who are present here. Thank you so much.
Very powerful, Nisha. It was beautiful. I'm telling you, every thought reached across. And this is actually a story which is so dear to me that hearing it again in your voice was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to hear this.
Nisha,
Thank you.
Nisha, you took us on a good surprise journey. This Karna story is also one of my favorite, and hearing from you was like I landed on that battlefield at that very moment. Very powerfully told.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So much. It means so much to hear from you, from Poonam, ma'am. So much. Thank you so much.
As somebody coming from outside Indian culture, I've heard many people tell stories about Karna, and it seems Karna really represents self-sacrifice, right?
Yes.
He was very generous. He
Yes.
was doing for others.
Yes. Yes, that's true. He remained, I mean, his generosity is spoken of. Even on his deathbed, there are instances of his generosity. So, that's how he was. That's how he lived his life.
And that is considered a noble trait, which is ironic because, at certain times he was said he was not noble enough, but his character was always noble.
Yes, that's what the story brings out, actually. So he being on the other side, which is not considered to be the right side or the side of dharma, but that was his idea of dharma, But then it brings out the character of this person who is on that side, but how he remained true to his ideal of not compromising on his sense of generosity or ethics or morality as he considered it to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay.